When I was in the 8th grade, I would tease out these kinky curls of mine and my hair would be huge and frizzy and overwhelming and how the people stared. All the time, everywhere I went. But the funny thing about being stared at is that you're not really being seen. And if I can't be invisible, well, it seems like being stared at, that's the next best thing. And so I've kept doing it over the years. I mean, I don't tease my hair out anymore, but I will say anything. Just ask my friends, those strangers that I keep close to me. The only things I ever talk about are those things I'm not really supposed to. See, anything I actually mean will get lost in how much I love porn, y'all. I mean, seriously, the raunchier, the better. Midgets, threesomes, ATMs, DBs, gangbangs. Fuck, my hands are starting to cramp and my batteries are running low just thinking about it. See? I will say anything. And I'm always saying something, because it's the best way to say nothing. The best way not to be heard, so that when I say I'm a coward, that I stopped visiting my grandmother when she said she was weary. Weary was her exact word. When I realized that she was actually going to die, I stopped visiting her. And I like to tell myself it's because I didn't want to remember her as less than she was, but mostly it was guilt that she remembered my name and not her husband's. But wouldn't you rather hear how once I took a shit in a big gulp cup in the backseat of a Volvo on a cross-country trip because fuck it. When you gotta go, you gotta go. And when you gotta get there on time, well, you do what you gotta do. See? Isn't that better than some journal entry confessional? It's like I said, people stare, but they don't see. And I'm so much weaker and much more resourceful than you realize. I use smoke and mirrors. I use jokes so that no one gets near to me than my outstretched arm. And what often gets mistaken for wit or charm is the fear that you might actually see me. And I can't have that. So now seems like a really good time to discuss the inherent flaw in tampon design. I mean, don't you feel like each one should come with its own bite-sized bottle of lube? Because the last time I checked, shoving anything into a dry orifice of mine was either poor planning, poor manners, or just bad fucking technique. I mean, shit. Spit on it or something. See, that is definitely more entertaining than my father's death. See, at 12 and made into half an orphan, I woke up afraid every day that God would come back and finish that job. Pluck my mother and my brothers from my life like overripe fruit, and so I would sneak into their rooms at night one by one by one and listen to them breathe, afraid that my already small family would get smaller and smaller and smaller. But that'll get lost in my rant about razors. See, I like to shave my asshole like 2-3 times a week, but razors, not ergonomically designed for that. And neither is the shower, really. I mean, my foot precariously resting in the built-in soap holder, cold tiles pressed against my shoulder. I almost kill myself every time, but fuck, I mean, the things a girl will do for a really good rim job. See, and you'll still be thinking about that. You'll still be thinking about that when I tell you distraction is a trick that cowards, magicians, and ugly girls learn young. And so I have learned how to say anything, and mostly they're not lies. I just use the frivolous to trivialize anything that makes me human, because I'm not. I'm funny, and I'm charming, and I'm invisible.